Today, we're taking a look at Fake Mike Real News. While he screams at the cops about the Third Amendment at a funeral. I don't know if exactly it's a funeral or memorial service. There's nothing leading into the video to tell you where this takes place or what kind of event it is. All we know is what the cops tell us, that it's a somber event. That Fake Mike Real News decides to do his brand of journalism, I say with air quotes. So let's watch this video.
You took a sacred oath to protect his freedom of speech. He can yell, he can swear, he can say whatever he wants. That's his God-given right. You took a sacred oath. Men, women, and children have given blood, sweat, and tears for that. And you telling him not to yell while you escort a fancy pants to their car is the epitome of hypocrisy. You just escorted somebody in a fancy suit to their car, these guys, but you're yelling at somebody for engaging in free speech.
Right off the bat, we have a group of idiots yelling at the cops. The one who's yelling the loudest that we can clearly hear is Fake Mike Real News. There's a voice in the background that can only, in my own opinion, sound like Long Island audits. Both are not surprising to be together. The one thing they have in common are, well, there's two things actually. Both are fake journalists and both are real frauditors. But yelling at a funeral or memorial service is tacky, classless, and shows no respect to yourself or anyone else around you. So why would you even do that?
Because they're not personal security for somebody. You guys work to uphold our rights.
Well, tell me, what did they do?
What this guy just walked a gentleman to his car as a personal escort. Why?
Oh wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Do certain citizens why do certain citizens get police escort and you yell at other citizens for expressing the First Amendment?
I just don't want him shouting because there's
Why
a
not?
somber event going
That's
on.
fine, but it's even if it's not
One at a time,
even
sorry.
if it's not in good taste, it's his right.
I'm sorry, I don't know who to listen to.
It's his right to. It's even if you don't like it. The First Amendment was a.
You see, the cop is confused on who to listen to. You have two jackwagons screaming at him at once. And screaming at a somber event such as a memorial service, funeral, that's just wrong. Why can't you just be respectful? He's not saying you don't have your First Amendment rights. He's just clearly saying, please be respectful and not yell at this somber event or cause a scene.
To protect us against feelings, right? The First Amendment was made to protect controversial speech. Back in the day, if you didn't say something King George liked, the First Amendment, exactly, even if it's a somber thing, even if it's something that you don't agree with, that's why you took that oath, you know? Do you take that oath seriously?
I do.
What's the Third Amendment?
Stop it. Get some help.
Third Amendment.
Yes.
I know the first and second. Is it? No, I don't know. I can't.
Okay,
I don't want to be wrong.
No, that's fine. I appreciate
I
you being humble enough to admit I've literally asked dozens of officers across the country in the last few weeks, and only one gave me an answer, and I'm pretty sure he went back and Googled it. But I appreciate. But most officers are not even.
Seizure?
No, that's the Fourth Amendment, right?
Yeah,
But the Third Amendment says no soldier shall be quartered in anyone's house in peacetime or in war. Now we have.
You know, the Third Amendment's powerful and all, but if you really wanted to question the cops on the rights of all of us, why not ask them about the Fourth Amendment or anything pertaining to law enforcement's abilities and the constitutional rights that protect us? Instead, you want to ask them about what? If it's, their right to not have to quarter soldiers? I think you try to find something that has nothing to do with anything, just so you can try to trip them up and make them look bad. But again, that's just my 2 cents.
Have it with the NSA, right? You'll yell at this guy for exercising his free speech, but you guys won't round up.
NSA is a type of quartering.
Well, I mean, they're quartered in your house. It's a digital soldier. It's unconstitutional.
I'd buy that for $1.
Right? They're in your house. They're in your phone. They're in your laptops. That's unconstitutional. The NSA itself is inherently unconstitutional. And then Edward Snowden came out, 10 years ago and said they're spying on Americans? They got more money.
See, I thought the quartering was more about giving them shelter.
That's true, but this is a digital soldier that's in your house. This is updated. You have a
Here we have more fake Mike Real News' conspiracies. I have never heard of a digital soldier, unless you're playing a video game. But then again, his whole thing is the NSA are quartered in our house. By that logic, so is Google, Amazon, Apple, but yet you still buy their iPhones. You still buy their attachments. You buy the Echoes and the Portals. Why is that? If you don't want soldiers in your house, go off the grid and live in the woods. Might be peaceful for all of us if you did that.
Digital soldier that's watching, they can
Maybe
go
we
into.
should make another amendment.
Well, we should.
I think that's more of a Fourth Amendment issue, isn't it?
It is also. It's also a violation of our Fourth Amendment. Yes,
Spying would be
it's
a
also
Fourth
a violation of your Fifth Amendment too, because you're not incriminating yourself when you are incriminating yourself when the NSA can wirelessly, warrantlessly search all your stuff. But I appreciate you being.
I don't think that's a Fifth Amendment. I think Fifth Amendment is the right to remain silent.
It
You
is,
have to
and how can you remain?
incriminate
How
yourself
can
in
you
a court
remain
of law.
silent when you have $1 trillion government entity inside of your phone, inside of your laptop,
But
and
your
can
phone
go
is
there?
not you, right? You clicked all the boxes when you set up your phone, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
accepted all the
And
everything that they're gonna
when you swore no to the Constitution, you just said, "Hey, yeah, I trust this," but you didn't read the Third Amendment either. Just like I
That
didn't.
doesn't mean I didn't read it. Now I can't recite it. That's
Well, you should be able. I mean, it's
be
10.
fair to me. I'm being fair to you.
I am being fair to you.
No, you're not. The officer's right. When you buy a phone and you set up your account for that phone, or when you set up an email, or when you sign up to buy anything from a third-party website seller such as Amazon, eBay, Walmart, or whatever, you click their terms and agreements. And if their terms and agreements allow them to look at your browsing data from while you shop or while you surf the web, that's on you for allowing that. And just because the officer can't recite it off the top of his head doesn't mean he didn't read it, like he said. You know, I read the book Hatchet as a kid. I can't recite it from passage, but I still remember a lot of it.
Because you were
You
humble.
just said I never read the Third Amendment.
Well-
I swore no to the Constitution, and that's just wrong.
Well, as a police officer, and it's your job literally to uphold our Bill of Rights, you should know the 10 Bill of Rights off the top of your head.
That's a high bar.
You have an app on your phone, just like I have an app on my phone. You download the Constitution, okay? And also, for context,
I have a pocket Constitution.
Even
It's
better.
Not in my pocket right now.
okay, so that's where it should be. So next time, even if you don't know the Third Amendment, I never suggest pulling it out, but in this case, you can pull it out. How are we going to procreate, man?
That's
What's your name and badge number?
I'm Paul.
Did he just ask that officer how they're going to procreate, as a species or as two individuals? It's very confusing.
Frederickson, number 1210.
Thank you for being humble and able to de-escalate that. Yes, but please don't go against people. Anything that anybody wants to say. We have the right to swear. We have the right to yell. We have the right to peaceably assemble.
That's disorderly. I don't like it.
Sir, specifically, when does the First Amendment end and disorderly conduct begin? There's no answer. I've asked dozens of cops. There is no answer. Because as long as I'm not destroying anybody's property or calling for violence, I have the right to say whatever I want. I have the right to say F you. I didn't preemptively come up and say F you to you, but that's my right. It's literally there so we can say bad shit about the government. Because before you couldn't talk shit about King George. But now we get to talk shit about Prater, about Frederickson, and that's what makes this country a good place. Because if you guys are above the law, and that's what's happening now. This is a private event, right? It should be out there for the public. This is a private event where you guys protect the governor who works for us. And now that we can't even access the governor. And maybe if he's going to take questions, it's going to be
I think
from.
that's overstated.
No, I would
Say
just.
you can't access
I would
the
disagree with
governor.
you because I've literally went
Maybe
to.
you can't access the governor on your whim.
Well,
but you
I would
could access
disagree
the
with you,
governor.
and you can go back and look through my channel. Right, I've confronted.
So, you want access to the governor anytime you want. But yet, you could do that if you schedule an appointment to speak to him. If you're a real journalist, you could do that. But no, instead, you want to do ambushes, jump out at them, which requires security to be involved, because who knows if you may want to do an interview, somebody might want to hurt him. You never know.
We've confronted Trump,
Maybe
Biden,
this is
Hillary.
where you're going wrong. is everything's a confrontation first.
Well, no, I'm explaining to you why, right? I've traveled this country. I've sent countless emails, phone numbers, and when I go to a place, I'll call and try to speak to the mayor or the governor. They're always not there. Then we pop into their office. Oh, is he here? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not sure. Oh, you don't know the schedule? That's pretty weird, aren't you? His assistant? And they never know, and they're never there. I've literally went to hundreds of city halls in almost every state capital, and not once ever has a governor or a mayor ever followed up, well, actually one time in Kansas, a very small town, ever followed up to me and said, yes, I would actually like to meet you via phone, email, or in person. So we have to, unfortunately, confront these people on this question, but
Herein lies the problem. If you don't get an answer, you follow up and call them back until you do. Doing ambush jump outs is what's going to make you a target to law enforcement, because you constantly keep harassing them. And doing confrontational things like that makes it harder for people who are actual journalists to get interviews with mayors and governors and political candidates. And jumping out at them, I saw you run up into a private press conference. I've seen you run and interrupt press conferences with local PD over something. And you yell that, oh, the mainstream media, lying about Halliburton. Dude, just do the proper channels and get things done that way.
happens later is we FOIA their emails. And what happens? They're more than happy to meet with corporate donors. You want to go out and cut a ribbon? Or you want to go ATV riding with somebody? They got plenty of time for that. But for the average Joe, they have no time for us. And that's why we have to go over there. Look, you guys got how many people here? 1, 2, 3, 4, all protecting the governor.
I don't think we're here just for the...
What are you here for? What was your assignment today?
I want the hallowed ground, the reverent event to go off without a disruption.
But that wasn't your assignment. And a disruption would be the First Amendment, which you took an oath to protect. So a disruption, we could stay out here and everything. I mean, we could literally say F you to all those people. We would never do that.
That's awful.
It is awful, but
you have done that in the past. We've seen your video.
it's our right to do so. So you're supposed to protect disturbances. You're supposed to protect the protest. I mean, if the KKK walked over here, you have to protect the KKK. Black Lives Matter, anybody. That's their freedom of speech. And that's what you have to do. You have to protect our freedom of speech, everybody's. Because if you selectively enforce the law, that's the same thing with disorderly conduct. When you're subjective or it's up to an officer's objectivity, that's the definition of fascism, when you can apply the law selectively. So we're living in a fascist country where if you don't like the message, people get arrested. Meanwhile, fancy pants get an escort to their car. And that's what's the problem with this country.
Do you want to escort to your car?
No. I got enough escorts on Backpage and Craigslist. I'm pimping them out here, which is illegal too because sex work is consensual.
Okay, you just admitted that you are engaging in illegal actions on camera, putting it on YouTube, and saying that in front of no less than what looks to be 4 or 5 cops back there. So, to follow up with this little question, sex workers in that industry are not consenting. Some of them are doing it against their will. Some are being human trafficked. By you saying that you do that, it makes me question everything about you, even more so, I should say. And my personal opinion, you're a bit of a freaking degen.
And this is the type of thing too. So officers take an oath. And it's not just the First Amendment. How many times have these guys here arrested somebody for a weapon? But it says shall not be infringed, right?
Arrested people with weapons.
And that so you've dishonored your oath respectfully, sir, because the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. And the supremacy clause of the Constitution, as well as Marbury versus Madison 1803, says all laws that are repugnant to the Constitution are therefore null and void. And then you got the drug war, the illegal drug war. With alcohol prohibition, you had to get a constitutional amendment. You guys didn't get that. You just got marching orders from Richard Nixon in the United Nations and started arresting people for victimless crimes. And that's the problem.
There's no such thing as a victimless crime. I'm in the video here. There's only so much of his nonsense and buffoonery and shenanigans you can stand. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Discord. Also, I'll be linking my PayPal in the description box, as well as my Twitter. You guys don't have to make a donation, but if you choose to, any little bit helps to get better equipment for better videos, editing software, and just so I can make better content for you guys. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Have a great day.